The Holy Gospel according to St. Matthew, chapter 20, verses 1 to 16. Jesus spoke this parable to his disciples. The kingdom of heaven is like a landowner who went out at dawn to hire laborers for his vineyard. After agreeing with them for the usual daily wage, he sent them into his vineyard. Going out about 9 o'clock, he saw others standing idle in the marketplace, and he said to them, "You too, go into my vineyard, and I will give you what is just." So they went off. And he went out again around noon and around 3 o'clock, and did likewise. Going out about 5 o'clock, he found others standing around, and said to them, "Why do you stand here idle all day?" They answered, "Because no one has hired us." He said to them, "You too go into my vineyard." When it was evening, the owner of the vineyard said to his foreman, "Summon the laborers and give them their pay, beginning with the last and ending with the first." When those who had started about 5 o'clock came, each received the usual daily wage. So when the first came, they thought they would receive more. But each of them also got the usual wage. And on receiving it, they grumbled against the landowner, saying, "These last ones worked only 1 hour, and you have made them equal to us, who bore the day's burden and the heat." He said to one of them in reply, "My friend, I am not cheating you. Did you not agree with me for the usual daily wage? Take what is yours and go. What if I wish to give this last one the same as you? Or am I not free to do as I wish with my own money? Are you envious because I am generous?" Thus, the last will be first, and the first will be last. A very interesting gospel, which we can get many lessons from, but we'll just take 3. Number 1, work. That comes in right from the beginning to the end. So those who started in the morning, or those who started in the afternoon, or those who started at 5 o'clock in the evening, in any case, effort and work is important in our life. So we are blessed, but we have to use those blessings. We have to work. Number 1, okay? Now the second point is interesting. God's vision of time. Someplace in the gospel, in the scriptures, it says, 1,000 years is like 1 day for God. In other words, God's vision of time is quite different from ours. And we're always looking at the clock. What time is it? How many hours did I work? How long do I have to work yet? But with God, it is quite different. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Like, for example, the Gentiles, they came in after the Jews. The Jews were chosen first. But then, later on, the Gentiles came. And so with God, there is no difference at the past or the future. God is always present. And his vision of time is different from yours and mine. That's the second point. So, let's not keep a timetable of what we are doing or not doing for God. The third point is that the first shall be last and the last shall be first. Well, this comes into what I was just saying about the Jews and the Gentiles. The Jews were the chosen race, and it was only with the coming of St. Paul, you might say, and that, also St. Peter, they turned to the Gentiles and received the faith, and the world was given the grace of God's salvation. So we might sum it up by saying that we don't really earn heaven. It's given to us as a gift, God's mercy. And that's very important. Those who in the beginning came and made a contract with God, with Jesus, with the landowner, they kind of lost out, you might say. And don't do business with God. Just trust in his mercy and in his love. And then, as I say, the second point is that he wants us to work, and his vision of time is very different. Some people, when they're young, they're oats, you might say, but when they get a little older, they become very fervent. Some people, as they grow older in age, the latter part of their life becomes very, very different, and they depend more on God. In any case, we must remember that salvation is a gift from God, and we must just simply trust in him and use the talents that he gives us and leave the rest into his blessed hands. God bless you. Have a nice day. Until the next time. Goodbye.